Hello, everybody. I'm doing a quick cut in here on WFMY Plus and also Facebook Live, giving you the latest, of course, on this weather impact alert that we have going on until 9 o'clock tonight due to the threat of these storms moving in. Already seeing a lot continue to pop off. We've had one severe thunderstorm warning just in the last couple of hours. That was in northeastern Alamance County. Continued pushing northeast pretty quickly at around 40 miles per hour, but we're going to have to keep a lookout for more storms over the next several hours. Again, main threats are going to continue to be the flash flooding and these locally heavy downpours and also damaging wind gusts. Also, we really could see mixing all the way down to the surface within some of these strong to severe storms, upward to around 60 to 65 mile per hour at times. So let's go ahead and get a look right now at the radar that is very, very busy. Right now, currently across the region, there is one severe thunderstorm warning that's actually toward our east. Still a lot of lightning. I want to zoom in right now on the triad, really what we're seeing with these strong clusters of storms that continue to just kind of build into the area coming in from west to east. We're seeing plenty of them in Caswell, in Alamance, and also now Guilford County, building also into northern parts of Randolph and Davidson counties. And we just saw a downpour in Winston-Salem not too long ago as well. We're going to continue to track these storms, and as we do so, I wanted to also kind of show you, what we're working with here. As for hail, really not seeing much across the area, so that is some good news. And some of the severe thunderstorm warnings, you really can have up to around an inch or so, even higher in diameter for some of that hail across the area, but there is plenty of lightning in these storms. This is just in Guilford and Alamance County. If I can kind of zoom in here, this is over 140 lightning strikes just within these storms that we've continued to kind of keep tracking the last couple of hours, and we're going to continue to keep an eye on them over the next little bit of time as well. They're kind of continuing to push northeast at around anywhere between 25 to 40 miles per hour. And of course, they're going to really continue to pack that punch. Realized I didn't have myself up with you guys, so wanted to put myself up with you guys so you know who you're looking at and talk to me. So as these lightning strikes continue to move through the area, it's also worth noting that really lightning can strike around 20 miles away from a storm. So if you hear thunder, please head indoors. Absolutely, quickly as you can. I did want to show you this too in Guilford County. As this line continues to kind of move through the area, some of those higher reflectivity spots that we're seeing that coordinate to higher rainfall rates, really just kind of over the heart of Greensboro right now, over Pisgah Church Road, East Market Street. Lot of high reflectivity there, indicating that a lot of rain is coming down. And that being said, I did want to show you a kind of a 3D slice of what this storm looks like. So I'm going to go from here all the way through here, kind of see what's going on in the mid-levels here of this storm. So this storm does extend pretty high up into the atmosphere, around 30,000 feet. I'm really not seeing a hail core for right now. Usually when you see a hail core right above Greensboro is kind of the highest point of reflectivity that you can kind of see on the map. I'm going to put a little arrow on it so you can know what I'm talking about. But when you have a hail core, you can kind of see pinkish purples that will start to show up, and that's indicative that there's hail falling down, and these updrafts are strong enough to kind of form that hail. You get super cool droplets that fall through the freezing layer, get to reform on the hail pieces, and then they just become strong enough to kind of go all the way to the ground and are too heavy, and then they fall through. And that's when we see that hail across the area. Still plenty of also scattered showers and storms moving into portions of Caswell County over here toward High Towers and also toward Leesburg. I did get a question, so I'm going to look at that. Any update on how Yanceyville Street will look today? And that's a great question. A lot of people want to know exactly when and where these storms are coming, where they're going to be at a specific point in time. And it's hard to know exactly where these storms are going to pop up and where they're going to fizzle out, and also where they're going to redevelop. What we do know is that there's heat and there is humidity in the atmosphere, and there's plenty of moisture to go along with it. And when you have that, you get these storms that bubble up, and they don't really move all that much because they don't really have an upper level steering current in the atmosphere to help drive them through the area, such as, in the springtime when we have a cold front moving through, we can kind of time it out a little bit easier. But these kind of form, and then they can redevelop over the same spots and cause lots and lots of issues across areas, especially with the local flooding that we've had over the last several weeks. So our grounds are already saturated. That was part of the reason why I wanted to issue this weather impact alert. It is until 9 o'clock tonight if you are just now joining us. Due to the fact that we already have saturated soils, the water's got to go somewhere. So with these downpours continuing to come down, flash flooding is, of course, of the utmost importance of what we're tracking, and also damaging wind gusts. We really can have some strong wind gusts in these storms, especially in some of these kind of heavy updrafts that kind of can show signatures that, we could see another microburst or so that we just saw last weekend. So we have to keep an eye on that too. Kind of continuing to track the radar where some other storms have kind of formed here just within the last 15 to 20 minutes. And again, these form very, very quickly. This is actually just south of Reedsville, right along Highway 158, along South Scales Street, US Highway 158. That's where we're kind of seeing that locally heavy downpour form. But there is a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning here in this Greensboro storm. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to pull up the Greensboro Skycam just so you guys can get a better look at, what exactly this storm looks like on the Skycam. Looks like that's actually the time lapse of the last couple of hours, but a little bit spooky right now. As you can see, those storm clouds continuing to kind of roll in, very ominous looking for right now. We do not have a severe thunderstorm watch for our particular area. However, it is toward our east. Still lots and lots of heavy rain. We're seeing nothing severe in our area particularly for right now, but of course that could change. This severe thunderstorm watch is just out of our county range. It is toward the east over toward Raleigh, and that is until 10 o'clock tonight. Our alert tonight for the triad goes all the way until 9 o'clock. I really think the majority of these storms are going to be moving out by around 8 or 9, and that'll kind of cover any late running storms that should be by around 9 o'clock or so. If that changes, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated not only at WFMY Plus, but also on Facebook with any updates that I may have. Active alerts for our area. Looks like we just actually got an alert. This is brand new. Looks like it's a flash flood warning for our area, not only for Guilford County, but also for Alamance County. Or it's a flood advisory, excuse me. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. That could turn into a flash flood warning if we continue to see these kind of rainfall rates across our area. Any minor flooding is possible in low-lying areas and also poor drainage areas, but this is a lot of rain. So, with that flood advisory in place, I'm actually going to look and see how much rainfall they've had over the last little bit. And this is just an estimation, but I'm going to kind of look just toward the northeast of Pleasant Garden, really up to an inch or so. Let's go over toward Burlington, 1 to 2 inches. But with more storms on the way and continuing to redevelop, that could really be a problem across the area. So, of course, we're going to continue to monitor that. But going back to some of our active alerts across the area, again, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch that's just toward the east of our area, and that heat advisory, that's until 8 o'clock tonight. So we'll continue to track that too. But that is just mainly for Montgomery County, and that is until 8 o'clock tonight. Looking at some of your comments right now, raining very hard here north side of Greensboro. Thanks, Tim. Pouring. These are some locally heavy downpours. I haven't really seen any hail in these storms, which is great. Wind gusts, I haven't seen really any big reports of those either. Nothing severe again for now, but that really could change in these next couple of hours. How severe is it supposed to get, particularly in Greensboro? That's a great question. Well, we're already seeing these pop-up storms kind of continue to pack a punch, particularly in Greensboro itself. And they're really just bringing in a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy downpours that, of course, are continuing to cause problems. But this flood advisory, that could turn into a flash flood warning. You just want to be safe. You want to get inside. You want to be off of the roads. You want to get to a place that you can stay so you don't have to get in the car later, possibly with more and more rain continuing to kind of come down. I did want to show you some other flash flood warnings that are currently just actually north of our area. They're just north of Martinsville there in Virginia. They're all kind of right outside the Piedmont there. You have one just north of Surrey County over here, Mount Airy, and one just above my head actually in Ashe County, just outside of our area too. But these are some really locally heavy storms, and it really wouldn't surprise me if they're able to really kind of, if we're able to see a little bit of hail and a little bit more wind that these storms really could become severe here just within the next little bit of time. And with that, with my friends that have been watching on WFMY Plus, thank you for tuning in with us. If you want to see the rest of the video, please hop in on my Facebook Live. It's on my Facebook. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have a good night, and I will be back at 6 o'clock. Thank you.